this past weekend. Karros, obviously an analyst for them, former player, former Dodger. He thinks San Francisco might be in play for this guy named Shohei Ohtani. Take a listen.
Give it to me.
He's going to play in the postseason. He has to play in the postseason. The Angels need to trade him. If they don't, they're doing a disservice to the organization. Now, you want me to take it a next step further? Who's he going to be playing for? He's going to be playing for the Giants.
Whoa.
That's who he's going to be playing for.
Oh, Mr. Dodger?
No, I'm just telling you, that makes all the sense in the world. They have the wherewithal to do it. Then they get him for a couple months to try to court him so they could sign him for free agency. It makes all the sense. And you don't think that the Angels would want to trade him to San Francisco to spite the Dodgers? Come on. This is drama.
And Eric Karros, 11 o'clock, Willard and Kruger. Not Willard and Kruger, but Evan and Kruger.
Oh,
right
nice.
Here, 95.7 The Game.
Man, it'd be nice if somebody helped us with that booking. That's excellent.
Well, that's all right.
That has the Nat and Hegan written all over it.
Oh, man.
You know what?
Don't sleep on E-Dog. He's producer and host. He does both, man.
Let's take on the back end of what he said there. Out of spite to the Dodgers. It's interesting because if you hear from real executives that are now out of the game that are talking for a living, that's what a lot of them are doing nowadays. There's the guy that used to be the GM for the Dolphins who's on ESPN. There's David
Tannenbaum.
Tannenbaum, thank you. There's David Sampson, obviously Mangenius at one point was an advisor to a lot of different people. You'd be surprised how often teams make moves with other teams' rivals out of spite.
Yeah, that's
if
weird.
you are running the Angels and you're Artie Moreno, you've probably been looking at the Dodgers for years with envy.
Which is funny because they have the same amount of World Series titles since the century. But
I'm saying like you're competing in the same market.
You are.
You're competing for eyeballs, for market share, for Q rating.
And you've had the best player in all of baseball, and you're still the number 2 there in that market.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've probably been hearing nonstop for the last 2 years, he's going to the Dodgers, he's going to the Dodgers, he's going to the Dodgers. And out of spite, I could see Artie Moreno because if you pay attention to all the voting in Major League Baseball when it comes to the owners, he always goes against the grain.
Yeah, it was very odd. He put the team up for sale, did he not?
And then he the number that he was looking
it?
for, and he rescinded it.
What was the number he was looking for?
I don't know. Much higher than what he was getting.
I gotta imagine someone was, and Joe Lake was part of that process, right? He wanted to be a part of that ownership.
Let me tell you this right now. That team is for sale. Even though it may not have the for sale sign on the front of it, it's for sale. He just needs somebody to meet the number he's looking for.
So if that's the case and he's still looking to trade it, wouldn't it be more apt to hold on to that guy, making your franchise more valuable?
They say that players that you have on your team are not, it doesn't change the valuation that much.
I have a hard time believing that when I just see what Steph Curry has done for this franchise, right?
But
he helped build Chase Center. I know Joe Lake was the guy that is the X's and O's.
Ohtani. He's not signing with you. So let's say you hang on.
Do we know that for sure, though?
What?
Do we know that for sure?
That's pretty well known.
Really?
Yes.
I think there's a chance that he still resigns there.
With the Angels?
Chance?
I
disagree. Are we all assuming he's done there?
Yes.
Okay. Then then the Angels should know that then, right?
If he's a star of that magnitude with the Angels, imagine what he'd be with the Dodgers or the Yankees.
Well, if the Angels know that, then they're absolutely trading him at this deadline, no?
Well, a lot of people make a big deal about the comp pick. What was the comp pick for when Bumgarner could have been traded, but they didn't, and they held on to him, and he left in free agency?
Glowinky?
Jimmy Glowinky.
Who?
Jimmy Glowinky.
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
Jimmy Glowinky.
Where is he?
I'm a roaster.
He is somewhere in the Giants minor league system, probably playing mediocre baseball.
Bye.
Okay. So they're not gonna just get some comp pick. They can get tremendously more from someone else than whatever they'd get for the one comp pick.
This is the greatest.
Would you agree?
This is not only the greatest potentially trade deadline acquisition in the history of American sports, but definitely a rental. Not even close. Not even close. I look back to what the A's did with John Lester, right? That was a true rental. You're going for it all in that season, trying to win a World Series. You got Samardzija, you got Jason Hamill, you traded Cespedes, all these guys, Addison Russell. The rest is history. They ended up choking and losing the wild card game. But I say this for the Giants. I'm not scared of anyone else in this conference. The Braves, okay, they're good. I feel pretty damn confident if I have Logan Webb and Shohei and Alex Cobb as a 3 tandem against whoever it is for the Braves. Who is it? Morton, is he still there? Mm-hmm. Strider.
Strider, and then they have the lefty Fried.
There you go, Fried.
I
Max
always pronounce
Fried.
it wrong.
So
Fried.
those three, that trio, right?
Yes.
I feel pretty damn good about my chances against them in Atlanta, if that's the case.
Atlanta feels pretty
They're
pretty
stacked.
deep and stacked.
They're stacked.
They're an excellent team. The Rays have the best run differential. The Braves have the number 2.
Yeah.
And the Rays got a lot of that in the first 60 days of the season. Braves have been on fire since then.
Yes.
I would say this about it. Like, it's not just acquiring Ohtani for the now, which is what the Giants want to do to try to win now. There's no doubt about it. And, bolstering their rotation, adding a number 4 hitter to put guys in a better spot. Like Conforto in the 5-hole, much better.
Oh, yeah.
With Shohei Ohtani batting in front of him.
Everyone, it's a trickle-down
JD
effect.
Davis in front of him or vice versa, you look tremendously better. It's about what it signifies to the rest of baseball. It's about the message that it sends to the real players. Like right now, fair or not, I think a lot of people are like, I view the Giants the way Judge views the Giants, which is Aaron Judge used the Giants to drive up the price. He never really wanted to come here, just to go back to where he wanted to be. And I think a lot of free agents see the Giants as a team that will up their value so they can go to their real destination.
Where does Farhan's stock out right now with Giants fans? Where do you think it is?
Right now, I think it's teetering.
Because it was just a month ago, I'd say it was at a sky high. You saw all these young guys. You saw Schmidt. You saw Matos. You saw Bailey. Oh, you know what? We're starting to see the fruits of this labor pay off. So what if we missed on Correa and Judge? You know what? This youth movement's happening and we're winning. I see the vision. I'm all in. Just a month later, Schmidt struggling. Giants struggling. Now they're hot again. They're five in a row.
Schmidt is struggling.
He's struggling, though. He might get sent back down. So it feels like, again, we go back to these prospects. Nothing's a sure thing.
Well,
I feel like if I am good, I'm keeping Bailey, and I'm keeping either Harrison or Luciano. Everyone else, I'm keeping a Matos. Everyone else is up for grabs, man.
When I look at Farhan right now, I think most people would say he's a bargain basement shopper.
Yeah.
He shops at Ross.
JD Davis was a good one last year at the trade deadline.
You could find gems.
No, seriously, yeah. That's one.
He shops at Ross. And
Yes.
I shop at Ross.
Dress for less. I like it.
Right?
I got a nice Puma jacket from there.
But every now and then you got to shop at Neiman Marcus for the
Burberry.
wife.
There
right?
you go.
Right?
Yep.
Like every now and then for the anniversaries,
Lacoste. There
you
you
got
go.
to shop somewhere expensive. This would signify a change that they're bold and they're ready to go in. And I do think it matters. I really do. When I look at the Manny Machado trade, think of how Giants fans felt when they swung the deal, the Dodgers did, for the rental of Manny Machado. The Seager was out for the year, and everyone knew they're getting him for a rental. He's going to test free agency. And yet it was like, wow, that's a big time move. That look at the Dodgers. They know they're losing him and they're getting this guy for the now. Look what that signifies.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, like, obviously their brand is big and they might have signed Freddie Freeman regardless. But a couple of years later, you sign Freddie Freeman in free agency and it's on brand with all of the other moves that they've done. They did the same thing when they acquired Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. Now, Trey Turner had an extra year of team control, but Max Scherzer, they were going to lose in free agency. They gave away their number 1 and number 2 prospects.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're really hurting.
No.
So at some point, you got to change your philosophy and show me that you're all in on the big-time players, and I think it would be a big-time buy.
Not only does that send a message to your own team, it sends a message to the fan base, right, Joe? Like, we're going all in. Like, I think that's just what's been starving for Giants fans. When they traded for Chris Bryant, that at least signified to them, like, you know what? At least Farhan's going all in. No, it didn't end up working out. It didn't re-sign him. But that move alone signified it. Is there another move outside of Shohei Ohtani that would signify to you that, man, you know what? I respect Farhan.
Well, one question I want to throw on top of this is, let's say the Giants do acquire Shohei Ohtani, and you get 2 months of him, and then he leaves in free agency. And let's say you give up Harrison, Luciano, and Von Brown to make it happen. Now, Shasky, you're saying that
Not even close
by...
to that.
Well, whatever, hypothetically here. Shasky, you're saying that that's a sign that, the Giants are going for it. They're going to make those big moves. But then if you make that move, Shohei leaves for nothing, he walks for nothing, you get that sexy comp pick, and you lose, 3 of your top 10 prospects or whatever. Are you going to feel like the Giants actually just took a step forward after all that happened?
It would feel like to me I could take them serious in the free agent market. They're already in on the Conforto types. Oh, you want to come here and rehabilitate yourself? Kevin Gausman, former flameout first-round pick, come here. They have yet to proven that they can actually go all in on the megastars. And so, yeah, even if he lost in free agency, it's a huge risk, and you're losing on that proposition. To me, what it signifies is, like, you're in. You're a player to be reckoned with when it comes to the big-time stars. Right now, I don't view you as such.
But are they still considered that in team even if Shohei walks just like that? I mean, you don't feel like you're back to square one if that happens?
No, I think you send a message to your fan base and to your team that,
Yeah.
listen, Farhan Zaidi can actually get these guys. Like, until then, he's been always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Let's do
It's the
an
biggest
exercise.
signing we've got.
Let's do
Haniger?
Let's do an exercise here, guys. All right. Week 4. Do you guys know what week 4 is for the 49ers? Does anyone know?
No.
Okay, week 4. Let's just say, hypothetically, Brock Purdy's returning. All right, and I'm running
Okay.
the Giants right now. Brock Purdy's coming back. You're facing the Arizona Cardinals. Brock Purdy's coming back. Or even if he's not, it's Sam Darnold. It doesn't matter. The Cardinals aren't even going to be playing Kyler Murray. It's the Niners. It's football. It's a Sunday. It's October 1st. It's also the last day of the year for the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are facing the Dodgers. You're telling me, if I'm thinking about market share and I'm talking about being relevant in this market, and it's Sunday, October 1st, and I got Shohei Ohtani, who I'm handing the ball to on the final day of the year, batting 3 or 4 times in that lineup with an opportunity to go to the playoffs, that's not going to mean something to this market? You're not going to be watching the Giants versus the Dodgers on Sunday, October 1st over whoever the Niners are playing in the Arizona Cardinal game? I'm asking sincerely.
No, I'll at least have that on my phone. And then before that, I wouldn't have it on any screen at all.
The
right?
second football starts, and look, the Giants might back into the wild card. The second football starts, the Giants are losing a ton of their audience.
Yes.
And that's what I'm talking about. And I know we could say, oh, well, people like my dad or me, who I'm hooked on Giants baseball, I'm going to be there. Yeah, but the casual's not. And you've got to prove to the casual fan you are star hunting.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It not only does it sends a message. It has a ripple effect everywhere if you get Shohei Ohtani. That's what I'm saying. For the franchise, for the employees, for the team, for the manager, for Farhan, for the fans, for us talking about it. Changes everything.
Absolutely.
Would you want to talk about Shohei Ohtani every single day, Joe Shasky?
Absolutely.
I would love to talk baseball every single day here for 3-4 hours. That'd be great. Problem is, people tune out.
No.
That's just a fact.
Well, look,
because I get to talk football.
You know what I want to do? I want to come talk about Casey Schmidt right now because everyone's losing their minds on Casey Schmidt. Brandon Crawford has 41 hits this year. Casey Schmidt has 37. Who should I be more worried about?
Well, we know Crawford's done.
I know, but
year.
I'm just saying,
But
for
yeah.
example, we're losing our minds. But if we talked about that, our audience ratings would go down. All right? I want to talk Giants baseball every day. But you know what the audience wants? Chris Paul talk, Jordan Poole talk, Brock Purdy talk, Trey Lance talk.
Yeah, stars.
So if you're running the Giants, if you're not recognizing what the algorithms are, shame on you. It's an entertainment business. Remember what Goober said? Hey, if you don't understand the entertainment aspect of running a professional franchise, you will not be successful.
And that's especially in baseball. Like that, this is what they're trying to hammer down on. That's why the whole thing with the pitch clock was massive, because they are trying to make it a television product more so than ever. Like that's why they're doing this. That's why they're trying to speed everything up. And I know a lot of people, Sam Levin included, don't like that. But it's for the betterment, I think, of the sport overall because it brings in money. And more money is good for everyone there, anyways. Not so much when the owners just pocket it. Shout out John Fisher and so. But 888-957-9570. Would trading for Shohei Ohtani be worth it for the Giants if he's still left in free agency? That's the question we have on our Twitter poll. Right now, it's at no 54%, but yes at 46%. It's pretty split, Joe.
Well, look, if you acquired Ohtani, all right, even if you lost him at the end of the year, like, is Luciano ever going to be an all-star?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
I mean, the guy's batting like 227 in the Double-A right now. Now, I mean, he might be able to turn it around, but like,
I have no idea.
I mean, Sam Lubman, you are the most authentic Giants fan I know. You are over the top. Like, if I said to you, you have $100 to bet, one-time all-star or not for Luciano.
Yeah, I think the odds are very much in favor that Luciano could scrape together at least one All-Star season.
One. He said one or
So the
more?
Giants haven't had an all-star homegrown outfielder for 35 years, 40 years, and you think this guy will be one of them?
He could I think it's very well possible. Yes, it's very well possible that could happen. Is it 100% guaranteed to happen? No.
So that's
he can
a
literally
nothing.
blow out his Achilles in his next game. But no, it's a simple bet. If you think that he can make at least one All-Star game, the odds I think are in his favor to make at least one All-Star game in his career.
I think you're being a little reckless.
Explain to me why. Because he's hitting
optimistic.
227 in Double-A. That's it. Put a cap on his career. It's it. It's
No,
done.
I'm
No
just
more caring
saying
about
that
it.
like you have to play the percentages, right? And I'm looking at it right now. And
That's
it's
what
like,
I'm doing. I'm playing the percentages. The percentages are that he could probably probably make at least one All-Star game during his career.
I'm going in the other direction. It's really hard to be an All-Star. It's really hard to make the major leagues.
Even in today's game, when everyone's an All-Star, it's even hard today.
That's the thing. Everyone can become an All-Star, so he could probably sneak in. Maybe he's on a bad Giants team and everybody gets one. Maybe he gets traded away in part of the Shohei package and he's like the Angels' lone All-Star in 4 years. There's lots of different ways a guy can become an All-Star.
So we're going to wait a couple more years for him to come up and see if he might or might not be the guy.
The question was, could he be an All-Star at some point in his career? I think that's the answer is yes. He could probably be an All-Star at some point in his career. Is it going to happen next year? Probably not, seeing as he's still a year or so away from. That's how prospects work, though.
Congratulations. I still want Shohei Ohtani even if he's an All-Star. Do not care.
I mean,
give me 4 years of 5 years of Shohei over a 10, 15-year career over Marco Luciano. Don't even care.
I mean,
obviously, I'd take 10 years of Shohei or 5 years of Shohei over Luciano, but 2 months?
But Luciano hasn't even eclipsed over 250. You're talking about a guy that I'd say 98% of the fan base has never seen.
Well, I'm taking 2 months over nothing because that's what Luciano's going to give you. He's not going to give you anything right now. So I'm taking the known over the unknown. Absolutely.
255 in the minors?
Don't know. Don't care. I know what Shohei's doing. Stuff that's never been done in the history of baseball.
I mean, they held on to Ramos for years, and we saw a little taste of Ramos. Come on.
I do think the notion of getting your foot in the door with negotiations is massive.
Yes.
Because this perception, the perception of San Francisco and the Bay Area, trying to turn that around in that 2 month span is massive. Because I do think there's an aspect, and who was it? Who signed with the Cubs? Maybe Sam can help me here.
It was the Japanese superstar.
The Japanese superstar that signed with the Cubs. Seiya Suzuki listed San Francisco when he visited with them that his wife was afraid, right? Or I don't know what the exact quote was, but she wasn't vibing with the city. Didn't feel safe, I think it was what it was. I think that is a massive, massive turnoff for a guy like Suzuki who is tight with that Japanese squad, with the Ohtanis, with the Yoshidas, with all those other guys. That plays into it.
Well, look, I'm a Bay Area native, and I'll be the first person to defend the Bay Area at every single turn. But I also acknowledge when you take a step back, we overrate the allure of the Bay Area. When the reality is, if you're not from here, there's very little things that draw you into wanting to be here. Now, are there people like Hunter Pence and Tim Lincecum who have come to this region and made this their home and found a lot of love here? Absolutely. Absolutely. The cost of living for a lot of these guys is insane.
It is.
And they're making insane money, and they think it's insane. There is a safety element. There's a commute element, right? There's the California tax element. There is a variety of elements that people factor in any sport before they want to come here. And I just think in general, most of us Bay Area natives cape up for the Bay Area. And the reality is, if you're not from here, a lot of those people would say you're overrating the experience in the Bay Area.
But doesn't it feel like we only make that excuse when it comes to the Giants? Because like when I look at other athletes throughout like Bay Area, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, all these guys, obviously homegrown, I know, but we're trading for a Christian McCaffrey. We're trading for these studs, right? These
McCaffrey
stars.
did go to Stanford.
He did. He's not from here,
His dad played here.
His dad played here, but he's not from here.
No, I know. But there's a lot of elements he's familiar with. Would you grant me that?
Okay. Deebo Samuel, not even close to being from here.
But we also heard last year he was willing to leave.
He was. But he stayed.
He's
going to resign. And that's going to be
the Warriors. I'm glad you bring up the Warriors. This is the last time. Durant's the greatest free agent sign of all time. Name another.
Yeah. Barry Bonds, right?
Ronnie Turioff.
Well, for them, but
Derek Fisher.
If we're just going Bay Area, Corey Maggette.
No, they got Corey Maggette because
deal when that happened,
the Clippers ran out of money and they signed Baron Davis, and our consolation prize was him
Derek
after
Fisher?
we didn't get Elton Brand.
Derek Fisher?
Yeah, exactly.